Hello guys, welcome back to another episode review of Hollyoaks for Tuesday 23rd of September 2025. Too much has happened in this episode. It was overwhelming, but in a good way. I just really enjoyed it because so much has happened. You've got Marie, who's just blurted out to Perry that she's pregnant, and most viewers probably didn't notice this or saw this coming. Some viewers, like myself, I had a feeling that she was pregnant. I think I have mentioned in my previous episode review why she was sniffing one of the baby the clothes that the babies wear, and why, there's something going on with her. She doesn't seem herself when she's on scene. And then elsewhere, you've had Vicky, as you can see in the picture, just finding out, just literally just walking with her coffee and just finding out from Dodger and Cleo just chatting to each other about the potential murder of Robbie Roscoe and that he's probably dead. And imagine just stumbling across that, just finding out your other half, and she's just clinging on to hope that he's going to return soon one day. I think Detective Dodger is a bit clumsy, I think, because he's just talking about private cases like this out in the air and out in the open with Cleo, like it should really be discussed in confined areas, like inside, indoors. Then you had the Mexican standoff between Tom and Claire. Tom, gave some funny one-liners and told her, I can't believe why people bought your cancer scam because you look rough, etc. But then Claire gave as hard as back to Tom, and it was just I felt sorry for Tom because he seems like he's got a lot of PTSD from Claire. But anyway, I'm glad Tom kind of fixed himself before having a date with Perry. I really like them. I really enjoy them seeing them together, and I think it's so natural between them. I don't know what it is. It's just so natural between Tom and Perry, and I do feel like when he was with Yaz, he wasn't his proper self. I like the family dynamic where, Misbah being his mother-in-law, it really worked. But in terms of, I think him and Yaz were great friends. They didn't have as much chemistry as I would have liked as a viewer. But also, not just that, I think it's a bit bossed about by Yaz. Yaz was a career type woman. Also, Tom's got a lot in common with Perry. He's known Perry longer. He's got a kid with Perry. Just the on-screen chemistry between them is just undeniable. And I'm rooting for Perry and Tom. And then, obviously, the big bombshell later on, Dodger and Cleo sleeping together. And I just thought, I'm quite disappointed in Dodger, to be honest. He's not really a loyal brother to Sienna, especially he's, being a twin brother to Sienna. Cleo, I'm very disappointed in because she's given Joel false hope. Told Joel that he's got a son, she's pregnant, and he's going to have a son soon. And he's I think she was trying to basically string him along, saying that you got to fight to come out of prison. So it's almost like she wants support from Joel, or it's unclear whether she wants to be with Joel or not. Then she's crying over Sienna. Then she's going back with Dodger to his apartment, or to his it's technically Sienna's flat. And then Kim crying, leaning on Dodger's shoulder, and then sleeping with them two sleeping with each other. I think they're just both a disappointment, both Dodger and Cleo. I thought Sienna really truly loves Cleo. So Sienna's fell really hard, and I feel like Cleo just crossed the wrong person if Sienna and Steve ever make it out alive from the dungeon of the boat. I honestly, I don't know what. I think Cleo's always been a bit problematic, if I'm being honest. As a viewer, I've been watching for more than 20 plus years. She's always had issues. Most of them not her fault, but now what she's doing, she's crying. She's crying sheep. She's crying about Sienna. Then she's leaning on Dodger. Then she's giving Joel false hope. I feel like she's quite messy, to be honest. Let me know what you thought, guys. Main one as well. Another bombshell. Darren's just received the news from Dodger that Robbie may not be alive anymore, and Darren's obviously reeling, and obviously on top of what he's going through with Nancy, Nancy kind of hiding who the father was of Morgan, and also Nancy playing victim as well. I didn't really enjoy that from Nancy, to be honest. Actually, I really, I always liked Cleo. I've always liked Nancy. Them two characters have really been disappointing me lately. So, I'm shocked as well. The stuff with Nancy doesn't even make any sense about how she's pregnant with Tony. Marie can understand why she's pregnant with Tony, because they've been together for about a few months. They were, on and off again, and they were quite serious at one point. So I can understand why Marie would be pregnant, but come on. I think Nancy, that's a bit stretching a bit too far. But obviously it just seems like Tony's going to be the next Genghis Khan of Hollyoaks. So just having so many kids. All of a sudden Mercedes is pregnant. We just found out Nancy's daughter Morgan the dad is actually Tony. And now Marie's pregnant with Tony's being the father. And then also again, too much has happened in this episode. Another bombshell is that John Paul, he's overheard a conversation between Darren and just saying that Tony probably deserves what he gets, because obviously Mercedes needs justice, and John Paul just took that as, okay, if Tony's best mate Darren is kind of finding Tony suspicious and not believing Tony, then I got to do what I got to do, because what Mercedes is asking me, and I'm going to go give a false report to the police and get Tony banged up for life, which is what Mercedes has been hounding John Paul to do, and claim that John Paul's memory has come back and say that it was actually Tony who's been saying these stuff in the flashback. I think that's very poor of John Paul, very poor of Mercedes. And obviously John Paul didn't know what Darren was going through in terms of the paternity of Morgan. I think John Paul's going to live to regret that one. So is Mercedes, I believe. Obviously you got Diane fighting for Tony's corner as well. Man, Diane is a ride or die woman. Any man in Hollyoaks to have Diane, Tony's a very lucky man. Especially the stuff that he got away with recently as well. If only Diane found out that Mercedes is pregnant. Well, I think she did find out, but actually she hasn't found out. She has not found out yet. Marie's pregnant, and then Morgan is actually the daughter of Tony. So I think Diane's going to be in a shock. And how many times can she actually go back to Tony? I mean, she's a woman of self-dignity as well. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. It was a bit of a long episode review because there were so many bombshells and so many things that have come out in this episode. I'll see you on the episode review for Wednesday. Peace.